Once upon a time, there lived two neurotransmitters, Debbie dopamine and Sally serotonin. Their job is to send out chemical messages to our body to help it function. Since they send out tons of messages to the same places, people tend to get them confused. They are both referred to as happy hormones since they play a large part in our emotions. They are also connected with lots of mental illnesses. While they impact the same parts of the body, they tend to do them in very different ways. Debbie dopamine helps regulate movement, attention, learning, and emotional responses. She's commonly found in the middle of the brain, rarely found in the brainstem. The location of Debbie tells us she controls our main functions like muscle movement. She helps control our muscle movements by sending signals to let us know when to use them. If our body does not generate enough of Debbie dopamine, our muscle movement must start to deteriorate, which is why people get Parkinson's disease. Besides muscle movement, Debbie also helps with a lot of cognitive functions, for example, memory found in the prefrontal cortex, while her twin sister Dolores dopamine is located in the frontal lobes of the brain, which controls the flow of information from one part of the brain to another. When a person has a dopamine disorder in the frontal lobes, they tend to struggle with memory, attention, and problem solving. Mental illness is also connected to Debbie. Social anxiety or social phobia is caused when the D2 receptor is low. Schizophrenia or social withdrawal is caused when our brain is not producing enough of Debbie, while bipolar disorder is caused when we overproduce, which causes mania. Debbie is also an addictive chemical because it pleasures the brain. Our brain will release Debbie when we do things we enjoy, like eating or working out. We also produce Debbie when we have sex or abuse drugs like cocaine and amphetamines. They inhibit the reuptake of dopamine, which causes the sensation of Debbie to last longer. Overall, Debbie is a chemical that has a huge role in our day-to-day life, while her friend Sally serotonin is a chemical nerve cells produce. She's commonly found in the digestive system, but is also in the central nervous system, like in the brain and blood pellets. Sally helps with bowel movement and reduces appetite. We produce more of Sally when we eat something toxic or bad. The extra serotonin helps us to digest it faster to get it out of our system quicker. She also plays a role in blood clotting. The pellet cells in your blood release Sally when you make any form of tissue damage, such as a cut. This ends up causing vasoconstriction, narrowing of tiny arteries and arterioles in your circulatory system, causing blood to flow more slowly. Another thing Sally affects is bone density. Studies have been conducted to see the link between them. Through this research, someone discovered that selective serotonin uptake inhibitors are associated with decreased bone mineral density and increased fracture risk. Depression is a huge thing linked to Sally serotonin, even though she's often referred to as the happy chemical. When we underproduce, we get depressed. When a person is diagnosed with depression, they tend to be prescribed selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. The SSRIs are used to reduce the symptoms of moderate to severe depression by increasing the level of serotonin in the brain. The SNRIs are often called dual-acting antidepressants because they increase the levels of two neurotransmitters, serotonin and norepinephrine, in the brain. These drugs are used to help produce more Sally serotonin to give us more of a happy feeling. Overall, Sally is a great chemical that helps with digestion, our mood, and our bones and bloods. Debbie and Sally lived happily ever after because they helped us with our everyday lives.